Okay, Aries, welcome to your monthly chakra healing video for the month of June. Okay, we have a lot of things to talk about. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's also a lot of astrological stuff going on. Everything, like specifically today, there's a lot of squares, there's a lot of anger. You guys are really pent up, you guys are really frustrated. I'm not really surprised, but you know what, we're just gonna get through this reading. If I'm a little bit more bold and sassy than normal, is because I'm just like, just listen, I'm a child of the energy at this point. So I'm gonna move this and we gonna talk. Okay, all right. So bottom of your deck is the King of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, your root chakra, I am using the Manara Tarot for this, so a little bit of a throwback if you've been following me for a while now. I'm using the Manara Tarot for this, and yeah, so I wanted to use a deck that has like a lot of underlining tones, and this one does, so that's why I decided I just gravitated towards it this time. So this is the Hierophant in this deck. It's called the Priest, and it's in reverse. So this is that conformity energy in reverse. This is that Taurus energy in reverse, in the root chakra. What does it mean for you, and what does it mean for how you're pushing your energy this specific month? So because the Hierophant always talks about conformity and what power we give to society and those in power and those who we believe are in power that we have put up there, like all of those things, all of these things that we have agreed that are valuable to the collectively, that we are grounded in because we're connected and putting our energy into space. This energy is very much the government, religious organizations. This is anything that you, like anytime you have to sign a terms of use, some sort of contract where you're agreeing to take a part within that specific community, you are conforming your will, you're signing off what you're agreeing to what they believe, versus just so you can use that system in whatever, however big that is or however small that is, whether that be you're pissed at Apple for whatever reason, or that be you're pissed at the government, and you're kind of really irritated by a lot of things. This for you guys is really coming up with the government. It really has your root chakra upside down. The things that have been going on have had your root chakra upside down. You guys are very, very, very pissed off. You're like, F the system. You're like, I'm not going to agree to this. This is not what I agreed to. This is not what I want to agree to, or I change it back. I just don't, I know we're still in this collective society, but I don't agree with the way that it's, that, you know, it's been moving. And if this is coming up for you more personally, not necessarily in you looking at the world, even though I do feel it very hardcore that you guys are actively looking at the world itself and are getting really impacted by what this looks like in your root chakra. If it's a little bit more personally, maybe there's something that you this month are just, you agreed to something, or you have grounded yourself in something that this month you're just like, you're not, that's not me, I can't, I don't want to conform to that anymore, and you have changed your mind, your direction, your purpose. And don't forget that you guys are literally, you're the journey, so you guys rule the journey, you guys rule that which life takes us in, and what turns we take, that's Aries. All of that is Aries. The journey through 2020, that's Aries energy moving through every single sign. So you guys are very much right now in a flux. Like, you didn't agree that 2020 was going to be like this. You didn't agree to this hot mess. You're not about it. You tired. You just, you got a lot to say, you got a lot of sass, and you just not with it. You're just, your root chakra is, it's not necessarily that I feel like it's blocked, it's more like you guys have been led into thinking that the way that you're grounded within the physical earth has to be in agreement with what everything else, and that everything else has to be okay, and you're just not okay in that reality right now. So you are very much fighting against that. I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, but what is happening in the world, it's affecting your root chakra a lot. Like, you guys feel very unbalanced in the physical realm, and there is a lot of chaotic energy, so I'm not really surprised. In your sacral chakra, you have the devil, and I'm not surprised about this either, because the sacral space, as we know, is ruled by Scorpio. It has a lot of trauma, it has a lot of debt, it has a lot of like the darker parts, the temptation parts, the things that we have to reflect on and look at. If you are, I'm getting the message to say this, but if you are a white person watching this video, and you are kind of, either whether you're new to my channel or whether you've been watching me for a while, you are really, really, really struggling, not only with what's going on in the world collectively, but also very much internally. You guys have a lot of trauma, whether or not you're getting like flashbacks of things you said, how you're like kind of questioning a lot of things, like how you've spoken to people in the past. Remember that this is Capricorn energy in the sacral space. So this is a very emotional chakra. This is a very, it's definitely a conductor, as a manifestor, but it does take you back, because if you have it backed up, which I do see that you guys do, you guys have this energy blocked a little bit, because you're thinking of things that happened when you were a child, or even last week or a couple months before, how you spoke to someone. You're like in a very reflective state where you're just like, you know what, maybe I could have, what did I do something? Did I say something? Like, you guys are kind of doing a lot of reflection, but it's hidden. It's something that not necessarily you are wanting to do, but you're having a lot of internal dialogue and conversations with yourself, where you're kind of having to hold the mirror up and see where your faults have been. For those who are kind of doing like a lot of like education, if you are a white person watching this video and you're like just disgusted by what's been going on, and then you're just like, oh my god, this is like I'm associated with this just because of my skin color, just because of white privilege, just because of so many layers of things. It kind of, this month takes it a little bit deeper, because I feel like you guys are going to be diving a little bit deeper within yourselves to get to the bottom of not only your privilege and your part, and how you have partaken in this kind of world, and things that you've said, things that you've implemented, how you treated people, how you've looked at people, how you were taught when you were young. Like, there's so much stuff there. It's like I feel like you guys have a very heavy kind of heart, but I also do see that you guys have the energy to work on something. So we're definitely going to talk about it, but I do feel like you guys, I would Google, if you haven't already, and if you've been doing like a lot of education when it comes to Black issues and how you can address it through a white lens, a white perspective. I would recommend reading the book, and even looking up Lila Sant. She created, through other resources as well, but she created this workbook called Me and My White Supremacy, and it helps you kind of break down your traumas. It's actually a very healing experience, but it's very, 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 very like enlightening, self-enlightening, because you're kind of having to respond and address all of these little dark parts, whether it's like a small thing or a big thing. So I do recommend doing that workbook. It's a really, really good book. I saw her when she was posting it on her Instagram every single day, because it was a challenge at first. I saw her and so many people posting their experiences and reacting and doing the prompts every single week, and it was very every single day, I'm sorry. And it was very very like intense. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of like pain in there, but it was a lot of good work that people did. And I feel like it helps to change and heal from that energy. And I feel like you guys need that. If you are a person of color, or if you're Black, this this energy right here is more of the trauma itself, of everything that has happened, the pain of what has happened, the also those voices inside of you that, like, as much as you're like, yes, obviously, Black Lives Matter, yes, there's so many things that there's like, yes, that we all, I wish we would all just agree on and be able to move on in a positive way, without people freaking yelling all lives matter at people, because that's just ridiculous. There's still like a lot of pain and a lot of self-care that you guys need to do. If you are a person of color, you have to do a little bit more self-care this particular month, because there's still really dark and wounds that are just lurking in there. And there's also negative thoughts too. Even if you are not a person that, says, or if you're not a person that like hates other people, you might just really hate cops right now. And maybe you're not a person that like hates other people, but you might really dislike white people right now, to the point that you're just not even wanting to address them or be near them. Like, there is a prejudice underlining or building there. But then you don't want to put that out there. It's just like, it's a very internal, hidden thing that's happening, but it's not necessarily something that's positive either. So it's not helping you, but it's still happening. So you do have to address this trauma, this underlining darker trauma that's happening within yourself this particular month. For your solar plexus, you have the Page of Earth, Pentacles, Earth, in reverse. And that's because you guys don't really have the time or patience. I mean, goodness knows you guys are a fire sign. You guys don't have the patience to wait for everybody to get it the hell together. You guys are really struggling with how slow things are moving, and why things are going slow, and how change is not happening as quick as you want it. You guys are we all know you're very impatient. That is a quality of an Aries. That does not change for an Aries. And it's, for you guys, this earth energy it's complete, total irritation. It's like you're watching time waste, even though earth energy is very much time moving, but you just don't like how slow it's moving. You don't like how things are moving. Like if you sign a petition, or if you donate, or if you are voicing your opinions, if you're protesting, you're seeing a lot of the response and how the government and the communities are responding a little bit more slowly, and it's bothering you. And this doesn't only have to be for what's happening with society. This is on a personal note as well. If you've been waiting for a response, or if you've been waiting for something to kind of change or shift in your life, even with the coronavirus as well, as far as reopenings, job positions and stuff like that, you guys are just like, why isn't it moving faster? Why isn't it? Because it's not. It's just, you can't force this. You can't move this. Things have to happen. This has to have a long process. And I will tell you this, if the process stops today and everything just stops, you know what would happen? Everybody would just kind of be like, oh, that was just a week. They would only be upset and be like, oh, well, you know what? They only fought for a week. That's not, I guess it wasn't that important. I guess all it took is that one minor change, or for a governor to agree that it was wrong, and then, everybody just goes about their lives. Like, no, this specific situation needs more time. It needs more building. And you also need to be flexible in understanding that. So just be flexible this month. Don't try to budge this too much, because you're just going to be very annoyed and irritated. Don't budge this. Just relax. Go with the flow. Go with the times, okay? With your heart chakra, you have the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. So while your heart and your chest is definitely bringing the energy of rest, you guys are also getting to work. Once you have rested, once you have connected to the divine, once you have meditated, once you have received the downloads, you guys are ready to put it to action. You guys are getting a lot of ideas of how to address certain things. And I want to just kind of address this for a second, because when I looked at your planetary energies, you got Pisces, and I literally laughed out loud because I was not surprised. Okay, I just wasn't surprised. Mars is in Pisces right now. Yo, Daddy's in Pisces. So you are getting called to move a little bit differently right now. Okay, this is why the magic card came up. This is why the artistic expression came up. You are getting called to do things a little bit differently. Before you fight like a warrior, now you need to fight a little bit more creatively, a little bit more spiritually as well, because Pisces and Neptune energy rules spirituality. So you do want to kind of be a little bit smarter on how you play a role. And that includes taking rest and getting those downloads from the divine. You do need to relax. You do need to allow things to kind of happen, and for you to just come home, get your rest, get your downloads, sit down, meditate, and then be like, you know what, I just got an idea, bam, and then start trying to like execute those things. But you guys also need an outlet. I do feel like whether you're doing, you're practicing spirituality and magic, whether it be for protection or whether it be to harm as well. Okay, because you guys do have the energy to cause harm this month. And for it to be like a very illusionary type of harm. This is why also the choose peace card came up. If you have been thinking about doing a more negative or, you know, black magic and stuff like that, then you are being asked to also maintain the peace inside internally with your soul, with your spirit. So just be mindful of that. However, you guys are getting to work. You do want to work. In your heart, you're just like, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want a solution. We're going to keep fighting for a solution. But you're also thinking about yourself. You're reflecting and you're listening to your body when it's telling you that you need to rest. Okay. Now, let me just move this back down. Now, real quick, I just want to address this because I should have brought it up when I was talking about the solar plexus, but dry desert and stuck in the mud is also because of that solar plexus blockage. But also in your throat chakra, you got the punishment card. Okay. And I'm not really surprised about this. You guys want to see justice. You guys want to see changes. You guys are like spitting fire. Like when you're talking, you're trying to talk karma into existence. Like you are trying to talk karma into existence. Capricorn directly tapped into karma energy because they are ruled by Saturn. So you guys are directly just like, no, I hope this mother effers trips. I hope that, you know, this dude quicks. I hope that somebody just like you guys are just all, it's like your words are very much a battle zone, a battleground. You do not want to get into an argument with the Aries this month because they're not about it. Like it's very karmic, and it's also very like you guys are fighting with your words. Like, and it's Gemini season. Oh Jesus. You guys are fighting with your words. You guys are very like, have you noticed that there has not been in your reading any water energy besides this Pisces card right here? In your main chakras, there is no cups. Have y'all not noticed that? And we're going into Cancer season. There's going to be a solar eclipse this month, and y'all don't have no water energy. You're not trying to tap into emotion. You are tapped into the earth because it's a physical realm. You want things to move. You want things to be regrounded, instated, redone, restated, new intentions. Like none of this old patriarchal nonsense. You guys want the new rooted community. And at the same time, with this air energy, it's just like, no, verbally, you see change verbally. Things are getting communicated. Gemini season is having a huge impact on how you talk, how you're communicating, why you're saying it the way you're saying it, and how you are really expressing yourself. But you guys lack emotion. You guys lack emotion. There's a lack of water. You guys, this is why this Pisces energy, you're getting asked to actually like release through artistic expression or spirituality, because you guys you're lacking water. Drink water. You guys are going to be dehydrated this month if you don't try to address this issue, because it's just not going to be a really fun month for you. Like a solar eclipse is going to be here and you guys have no energy even for it. You're just like, no, I want to, how about you water these seeds that we need to get it together? How about that? How about that, dough? So just be mindful with your words and the way you're talking to others. You might need to take pauses. You might, especially you guys, Aries can be very short with people. You guys get to the point like really, really fast. Like if you write up an essay, or in your head you want to say a whole essay to somebody about, like, you're trying to explain something to somebody, you guys will find some sort of way. Okay, and this is all my Mercury and Aries people. You guys will find some sort of way to shorten that essay to one sentence, and you're not even gonna explain it. It was just that. I said what I said, and then that's it. And if you felt a certain way in between what I said, well, that's what I said. Like it can seem very dismissive. So just be mindful of this energy. Use it positively. Ask for karma and justice to be given, but don't go out of your way to be malicious either. Okay, just be mindful, because that energy does get stuck with you, as you can see right here. Now with your third eye, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, you do see seeds of change being planted, and things and intentions that you have set, especially if you are working your magic. You do see things being planted, and you are actively calling in new energy, especially when it comes to your finances. But it's taking a minute for that thing to come to, fruition. So just be mindful of that. You're aware that it's coming and you will have this opportunity, but it's just not, you see it in the future, but it's not there yet. Okay, so just be mindful. If you do see this, especially with everything that's going on here, then just be patient. You see the change, then wait to receive the change. Okay. For your crown chakra, you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, in reverse. You guys need to really slow down when it comes to your crown chakra, because I feel like you guys are definitely a force to be reckoned with. But this energy is Gemini energy when it is completely furious. However, it's in reverse. When this is upright, when the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest moving knight in tarot, when it's upright, it's moving with a sense of direction and clarity. Like it's definitely clear. It's getting the message. It's getting there fast. It's moving very quickly. But when it's in reverse, it can be a little bit chaotic. So make sure you're meditating and you're aligned with your higher self, because there might be a disconnect there where you're feeling just all over the place. You're feeling so much anger. You're feeling so much frustration in the physical realm, that in the upper chakras, you're like just struggling with the way you're communicating, with the way things are being said, with how fast you want things to happen, how fast you want things to come. So just be mindful of that, because there's just the fact that the Leo card jumped out, it does not completely go over my head. You guys have a lot of ego. Okay, the sun is exalted in Aries. Okay, so it does very well through having your ego, the way you guys have your ego and move through the ego and actively work through going through life and this journey. You guys master this kind of energy, but you have a lot of pride. You have a lot of things to say, and you also got to make sure that you're okay with yourself before you lash out at everybody else. So just be very mindful of that, because there's also other stuff going on that is bringing your energy down, and it's not at all fun. It's not you're not necessarily internally balanced, and you need to do a little bit more work and self-care, okay, before you go off. All right, so that is your reading for June. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for to all the new subscribers, and don't forget to check out the Patreon as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.